Hello guys, in this video I'm gonna show you how I made a Yamaha mt07 windscreen made of carbon fiber. Here you can see the original windscreen I'm going to use to make the mold. To begin with, I'm sticking tape to the rear of the part. This way I'm going to apply hot glue to the tape in order to attach the flanges. After the flanges are cut and in place, I put flash tape on the joints and then filleting wax on the edges of the piece, to make the molding easier. Here's how the part looks before making the mold. As my part is made of ABS and the vinyl ester gel coat is incompatible with, I will apply a coat of resin so it acts as a barrier. After one day, when the resin is dry, it's time to apply the release agent. In my case, I use chemical release agent from Composites, and now I can make the mold. These are the steps I follow to make the mold. First, I apply one thick coat of gel coat. After the gel coat is dry, it is time to apply some thin chopped fiberglass strand mat. Finally, I apply around 4 layers of 450 grams fiberglass. When the mold is cured after one day, it is time to trim the edges and sharp corners, and I can finally demold the part. I didn't record the molding process, but this is how it looks. Now it is time to lay the carbon fiber and make the part. But since I don't know the area I need to cut from the carbon fabric, I'm making a template with tape. This template will help positioning the fiber correctly in the right direction and without trapping any air. Before coating the carbon fiber, I clean the adhesive of the mold and then apply a few coats of release agent, just like I did with the mold. This way, while the release agent dries, I will cut the carbon fabric. First, I'm carrying a 200 grams fabric that I have laying around from other projects. This is the fabric that you will see in the final part. And second, I will cut a 600 grams as a backing layer. The purpose of this last layer is to increase the total thickness of the part. Here, I'm laying the carbon to these small contours. It is easier to laminate the fabric with the help of some adhesive to keep the fibers in place and prevent them from frying. And this is how the part looks with all the carbon layers applied. Before the infusion, the necessary consumables must be placed, starting with the peel ply, which will help separate the consumables from the part once it's cured. Next, the infusion mesh is placed. Through this mesh, the resin will flow during the infusion process. Then, the sealant tape with the tubes is applied. Finally, the most difficult part, placing the vacuum bag. It is crucial that no air enters into the part, or it will leave some pinholes in the surface, although this is quite challenging. Before starting the infusion, it's important to check for any leaks. Once I've confirmed that there aren't any, I can mix the infusion resin with the hardener and begin with the infusion. To fully cure the part, it took about 48 hours. Now it comes the moment all we've been waiting for. Take out the consumables and demold the part and see the final result. The part came out of the mold quite easily, and this is the result, which in my opinion is very good. Here I'm cutting off the excess carbon with a Dremel, being careful not to cut too much. And finally, I'm going to lacquer the part with 2K lac. To do this, I first sand the part with 240 grit sandpaper, thus ensuring a good bond between the lacquer and the part. Then, I degrease it and apply some coats of lac with a spray gun. These are the final results of the part. There are a few small pinholes left after lacquering the part, but considering it is one of my first times I've lacquered with a spray gun, I'm very satisfied with the results. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe so I can keep making more content like this.